Hi everyone. This week we're going to talk about screenwriting software. This is a little bit more of a basic video, but it's good for everybody, whether you've got experience in writing or not, or whether you've got your own favourite software. If you have, leave a comment and tell me what makes your favourite bit of screenwriting software your favourite bit of screenwriting software, and tell me where I'm wrong. If you'd be so kind to give this video a thumbs up if you think it's worth it, and remember to subscribe, that would be fantastic. Okay, screenwriting software. What I'm going to show you today is if you're just first starting out, everyone says, I'm thinking of writing a screenplay. What screenwriting software should I get? Screenwriting software isn't magical. It won't make your screenplay better. It'll just put it in the right format. There is a screenwriting format. How wide things have to be on a page, dialogues in the center, action, screen headings, fonts, sizes. If I can find it, I will put a link to the WGA. The WGA has a nice little, I think it's 4 or 5 page screenplay, which is about two people walking around a convention centre talking about screenwriting formats. It's quite funny. They'll say things like, how would I do an intercut between our two conversations? And it'll say, well, first you do this, Steve, and then you see the screenwriting format describe itself. It's a good little doc. And that's all really screenwriting software does at its basic level. It then adds bells and whistles for you, like being able to put comments and notes and drop pins so you know where you can find it inside your screenplay. These are all things that, confession time, I'm a screenwriting writer duet user. I started out using Celtics. I've given Final Draft a go. Amazon had one called Amazon Story. That's now defunct. I've used a few. And for me, I've ended up on Writer Duet because I'm here in Sydney, Australia. I've worked with producers in New York and in the UK and now they're in Canada. The ability to collaborate works really, really good for me. And I'm an opportunistic writer. I would say, and I hope this doesn't upset the guys from Writer Duet if they ever see this, I don't use their web interface. I use their apps. I write probably 90% of the time on my iPad. I'll trust the iPad back there. And a little bit on my phone. So this is also where this video is coming into its own. It's showing you how you don't even need your screenwriting software. In reality, if you're just starting out, you don't need screenwriting software. There's a few little things you can do and you're not going to be wasting your effort. So you can just, in a text editor, start writing, and I'll show you how to format that in this video, and then just cut and paste it into your screenwriting software when you get it, and it will format it for you. But don't worry. Well, let's have a look at the first video. This first video is just me using the dictate on my phone, which I have done in the past. You go to Notes, if you're running an Apple, hit the little microphone button beside the spacebar, and just start talking. So you'll say things like in this video, interior, day, interior, bedroom, day, new paragraph. You say new paragraph, it gives you the break. Susan is whatever I say, new paragraph. Susan, new line, say a dialogue. And you'll see, I cut and paste that in, and then all I have to do is just touch a few buttons to go, that's a character, that's dialogue, that's character. Paste it. That's it. Go here, scene header. Go there, character. There, dialogue. There, character, there, dialogue. It's that simple. Just a few little clicks so you could talk as long as you wanted into Notes. In the second video, or the third video, you'll see that if you actually change your formatting. So like in the third video, I actually type it into Notes. I go uppercase for the character's name, and then just type dialogue directly underneath that. Like a new paragraph, put the action line, new paragraph, uppercase the character's name. That then will automatically format for it, and you'll see that in the video too. So people will sort of say why particular screenwriting formats or screenwriting software is better than others, and that's a bit of a myth. You have to find what works for you, what's good for you, what feels right for you. For me, like I said, Writer Duet. I say, I'll say Final Draft is industry standard. Well, the only true industry standard, if there is one, is the FTX file extension. And I've only ever been asked for that once. And that was a producer who was reading through my script and wanted to make some changes themselves. They said, can you just send me the FTX file? Because they used Final Draft, I used Writer Duet. I just emailed it to them and they just made the few little changes they wanted themselves because they couldn't be bothered asking me to do it. They said it was very minor. That's the only time I've ever been asked for that. Every other time, it's PDF. You can watermark a PDF, all that sort of stuff. And when you do watermark a PDF, I was listening to Script Notes, the podcast, and rather than watermark it with your copyright and everything, which this makes far more sense, and that's why I'm saying even this screenwriting, if you're going to watermark something, watermark it with the name of the person you sent it to. Just pleasantly somewhere on each page. So if that script gets out and about, you know it was the copy that you sent to them. And then they've got a little bit of explaining to do. So you choose the screenwriting software which is right for you. I was speaking to the guys from Writer Duet, and when I said I was going to be doing something about this dictation section, they said, so you can use the dictation that's in our software. I didn't even know it had dictation in their software. That's the other thing about these screenwriting softwares. They'll cram features in that you may not need or you may not use. So be careful of that. Final Draft says that they do the only people that do pagination correct. So a page count in Final Draft is the correct number of pages. Well, you'll see I'll add a link at the end for the page per minute conversation. That's a bit of a myth anyway, because page per minute is and you can have, there's a line in Ben-Hur that says an 11-minute chariot race goes here. There wasn't 11 blank pages after that. So page per minute it's a guesstimation. Like, a guy with long legs may run fast, or a really heavily built guy might be able to lift more weights. Those two things are indicative, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Page per minute's a bit mythy. Plus, in Australia, we use A4, which is slightly narrower and longer, where in America, the standard is letter, which is wider and shorter. So the pages per minute depends upon which piece of paper you're using. If you're trying to bulk out your pages, go into Writer Duet, say paper is letter standard. If you're not, the paper you're using is A4. So the page per minute rule even changes just for the country you're in. So how many pages your script is whether it's printed on letter paper or A4 paper. So that pagination argument is a bit here or there. If you do need to lose some pages, make changes to your script in early pages, because it'll drag up paragraphs and you can lose 2 or 3 pages by removing 3 lines at the start of your screenplay. The other thing about PDF, Writer Duet again, I sound like I'm banging on about Writer Duet. Writer Duet has a really nice little tool called Read Through. It's at readthrough.com. And dyslexic, I tell everyone that who asks. I have the same sort of dyslexia as Jamie Oliver, the English chef and writer. If I read without another stimulus, I fall asleep. So having a screenplay read to me while I'm reading it is 2 of my senses going at once, and it really helps. And it also helps you absorb a good screenplay. I always say read screenplay, so check out readthrough.com. So there's a little thing about good description and bad descriptions. I'll drop the description link in the bottom at the end of the video. A few people I've been reading a few things, and people have been asking me to read a few things. And someone said, what's the difference between a good description and a bad description? Like in that previous description episode, we showed writers like Taylor Sheridan, people like that were putting in unfilmables. The unfilmable that they were using, and the unfilmable which is a bad description, the unfilmable that they were using was things that the actor could act. Even when they talked about Jenny Ann, that she was great looking when she was 16, but now she's put on too much weight. An actor can sort of have that personality, can do that, and that's how the actor is going to act. But to say something, they're a no shit sort of person, that's very hard to put into every single interaction that the person has. You can't walk like you're a no shit sort of person. You can't, and there's those horrible ones, what is it? good looking but doesn't know it. There's not a good looking person on earth that does not know they're good looking. There's a whole lot of ugly people in the world that think they're good looking. So how good looking they don't realize it's silly. So that's the difference between good and bad description. Just keep that in mind. That's my little thing I'm going to throw on the end here. Can the description you're saying directly go to someone's performance and in every part of their being? A no-shit person isn't a no-shit person every single interaction ever. But someone who is good looking and still a little bit, confident in that way, or still thinks they're good looking, that's actable. That's it, guys. This is a short one. Screenwriting software is, if you've seen these little videos that I've dropped in along this line, a bit unimportant. If you're going to get started, just use a text editor. Use Microsoft Word if you want. You can't cut and paste straight out of Word. It adds too many artifacts. But what you could do is write everything in Microsoft Word, a Google Doc, whatever you want. Make sure that your capitalization is correct. Cut and save that into a text editor, like Notes or something. Save that, and then cut and paste that text straight into your screenwriting software, and it will create it for you. People say, oh, but then you have to go and read through and check. No one ever writes a complete first draft. You're going to be going back and forth through your screenplay 100 times, but you don't need to invest in a screenwriting piece of software immediately. If you do, write it to it. But you don't have to buy one straight out. I hope this has helped. And until next time, keep writing. Bye, guys.